guys, welcome to MOseries
with Olarotimi
and Maureen Olarotimi
and get set for a wonderful
experience. Hi guys, so if this is your first time, actually I know it's your first time of following this YouTube channel, so do subscribe, like, drop your thoughts in the comment section, and please share. Right, so today we're going to be talking about what we perceived about each other
when we
first met, and before we met, we had different perspectives about each other. Before I met my husband, there is this narrative about him that was I actually thought he was a very rude guy. I thought he was stubborn. I thought he was
rude. Yes,
yes. I thought he was proud because I heard a lot of such things we get.
So we are there the only things you heard about me.
Nothing. There were a lot of good things. So I heard that you go all out for people.
Okay,
you are a wonderful teacher, and you are a wonderful mentor.
Thank you.
Yes, and you take your work seriously. In fact, that aspect I heard that you take your work seriously. You don't. If it's business is business. If it's ministry is ministry. You put a clear definition of whatever you're doing. When you came to me, I was like, no.
Like you're feeling proud.
Right, so what was the perception?
Okay, for me my perception was very straight up. The first thing that showed up when I heard about you, I had seen you before when I came. The first time I think I saw you was when I came to your church.
Okay.
To thank Pastor over venue.
Okay, yes.
Hello.
Yes, I remember.
I finished thanking God.
No, we are talking about
past. No, it's perception now. It's perception.
So why are you bringing that?
I went out. Auntie followed me.
That's not true.
We'll talk about it very soon. Seriously, sincerely, I was bewildered by the level of diligence I had perceived from especially your work ethics. Okay? And I remember the first perception was through a slip or a form slip or
yeah, our information
from Pudi actually.
Okay.
Yes, she brought it to show me being her spiritual father. So when I saw it, I was like, who has this kind of orderly ethic? And for me, it was either excellence or nothing else. And when I saw that,
I think I had that part of you as well.
Okay.
Yeah, it's either excellence. So you have zero tolerance for anything that is not well done.
And so noticing the second time reaching out to you for those ladies who wanted to try to sponsor you and seeing the order around your work ethics was just something. So for me, in the whole thing, I was not checking whether you were pushy or whatever. No, for me, your work ethics just meant the whole ideology for me. And so I just took that all on. But that was not the reason why I came.
Alright, so I think when I heard those things about you, I remember that name sounded familiar.
Okay.
Yes. So when I met you in church that day, I kept looking at you. I don't know if you noticed. I kept looking at you and I'm like, this person, no, it has nothing to do with no. So I kept looking at you and then I knew I had to just ask because you were my elder brother's classmate.
Just for the record.
Yes. So to him, I walked up to him and I asked
you did not walk up to me.
What happened?
I was outside. You ran up to me. You ran up.
Fine. I went to him.
Ran up. I helped you run.
Okay. That was what happened. And I asked if he was that person and he admitted. I'm like, oh, nice to meet you. I am so person, Maranatha's youngest. Yeah, and I'm like, do you Temple Gospel Men Fellowship? Because he's a man of God, businessman fellowship. And then the things I've heard, I felt, no, seriously, do you know what? I just realized I didn't hear much about it till that day. it was that day I started picking interest. Not like picking interest.
Yes, just
no, just to get ahead. So I started seeing a little about you, but the time I started hearing more about you was when you were coming to ask me out.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I think.
And I think there are different versions.
Yes. Yes.
And other people had a lot of good things to say about you. In fact, some people didn't have anything negative to say about you. Some negative things, but no, I now realize that the negative things are actually what I needed. Do you understand? And I'm like, is this what they call stubbornness? God, I love this stubbornness. Is this what they call being rude? This is, man, getting to know you, I realized that, oh, this man was everything I prayed to God for. I didn't want a weakling as a man. I didn't want a beggarly person. Yes. I didn't want someone that can just be forced by people's opinion. Do you get? Because I know I'm a strong woman and I plan to go places. So you can't afford to have a man that doesn't believe in you, that thinks people's opinion count more than his convictions. So I needed a man that, and when he came, the moment I started to open my heart to hear him out, I realized, oh, this was a prayer answer.
So she said, you said I was a prayer answer. But you see, for me, I would say this very clearly. I think personally, the level of exposure I had gone through had its effect on me. I was privileged to do missions before I came to Kafanchan ministry. And I had one thing I had gone through is the process of learning people and being exposed to certain level of power and authority as it concerns leading people, especially from the point of taking people from where they are to the next level. And I noted one thing. If you remember when I came to train your staff, then there was a video I will always play. A video of people not knowing where they want to go. And the reason is not because they're bad, it's just because they are not yet exposed. And so sometimes you may not be that hard, but seeing the fact that some people need to do what needs to be done, there has to be some level of order. Yeah. And for me, what I would define that as, because before I came, I already had gotten trained around those areas. And just to be clear, I was inspired greatly by the ministry of Bishop David Oyedepo, Pastor Chris Oyakilomi. And just to be clear, when I came to Kapanchan, the Lord will lead me by different means to be with through trust ministry. I need to say that very clearly. And having been in contact with God's servants through, both from when I was in this true Mommy K. Within the last 4 months I was there, God told me to study the life of that great man of God. And so there were a lot of things I saw. I saw his attitude different from what contemporary men of God live by. And I saw the outcome. Yes. Right? Yeah. I must say my father's ministry also had a lot of impact on me. I will not throw that away. Okay. Nevertheless, for the kind of ministry God had called me into, the apostolic ministry, just because it's not a title, is a functional, expression. I had noticed that for the kind of person God had made me, there was a sense of authority came with. Even without saying anything, people felt. Yeah. And even up till now, like we don't see, like when we go to places, sometimes people we've not said anything yet. And then people are already carrying definitions. Do you understand? And for me, it was one thing accepting it as what they call it. But one thing I started going through was when I went to study, I began to discover that most of the people, men of God I look up to, had that kind of attitude. They had order. And unfortunately, what unexposed people call order is you being too stern. Yes. Now they have. I don't think there's anything wrong with being stern at all. In fact, they had this convicting spirit, being dogged at what they do. And for people who are not exposed, they call it stubbornness. While the real word is tenacity. Oh. So stubbornness is you being forceful towards negative things. Tenacity is you being forceful towards positive things. So just to be clear, I would always ask them the question, have you ever caught me drinking? Have you ever caught me smoking? Have you ever caught me on the road? So there is nothing you could hold me for directly that was about living wrongly, except for the fact that you noticed that I was very stern at what my convictions were. And I tell you, it's not just you. Even in my house, my own family had a taste. You will not believe, like literally, there were things I grew up, especially being a pastor's house, there were things I grew up seeing. And then when I went through a little bit of exposure, I noticed they were not right. One day, humbly speaking to my father and my mother, I called them, I sat them and said, let's be playing, let's sit down, let's listen together. This matter, I'm not comfortable.
Actually, it's not a normal thing in this environment.
Okay.
Yes, it's not. So, the environment will actually interpret it as being stubborn.
Like real truth. To be very sincere, we sat down one day. I brought a Bible and I said, "Sir, this is not what it is. This is not what." And my dad at a point just had to calm down and give up. Humbly speaking, I must say this: he's a blessing. All right, because being able to accommodate the different perspectives we have, and trust me, they are very sharp, different perspectives. But being able to accommodate it until God found expression through it is one thing I would really want to say too. But to her, much more, to you, hey Jesus. See, I heard so many wonderful things about you. In fact, to be very sincere, I really did not know much about you until we got talking. And apart from the fact that I am hearing one or two updates from my person inside. Yes. But when we got talking, hearing your ideology, hearing the way you do things, and then your graduation, the one you invited me for, but then many of you know I don't go for weddings.
I don't go for a huge amount to support. And that time we were not, there was nothing.
And sincerely, that was it for me. Once I noticed that you as a person are serious at what you want to do, okay, and you present it right, trust me, that's it for me. It was not about a bias or whatever it is. It's about, and that's my perspective. I don't like commending mediocrity. And you know what it does? It just makes you not to grow. You just keep telling somebody, well done, you know the person is not doing well. Well done, man of God. No, if you're not getting it, to hear it from me. But if you're getting it, trust me, the little grace God has put will be extended.
So guys,
so in summary, 3 things. Number one, you are very diligent at what you do or what you are doing. Secondly, you have the spirit of excellence, which happens to be one of my core values, very evident in what you do. And I've seen it up till now we're married. In fact, there is a normal mutual respect we share when it comes to those values. And number three, most important, your products. Ah, my God. See. No, real truth. I remember the time I was going to come to see Esther in your shop. Okay, because then once in a while I check out on people where they work. Okay, and then I had come from MOseries' place. Yes, I had gone. In fact, I think I went to Charlie's place, went to MOseries' place, went to. Oh, yes, wow, yes, I really did. Okay, until people started scratching the privilege in me. So I called her that I was coming, and she said, "We are not permitted to welcome the male gender into our circle or our business space." I was like, wow, okay, all right. And then I said, call your boss and tell your boss that as though I have, do you understand? That I want to see you at work. And then guess what? She called. And you know the funny thing? When I came, I saw this wonderful woman making hair along with her ladies. And they just kept me there. They did not even tell me to sit down.
Yes.
Like it was very clear that
you're not welcome.
You're not welcome.
Yeah.
But what do I have to say? You know, I told the man that carried me, I said, I will never forget. Because me, I said, hey, come into spaces where I'm not welcome. I have learned to discern spaces where I'm welcome. So when I saw that, but I left with one thing which I kept on saying to her. Okay? I said, I noticed you were making the hair with your girls? You were making the hair with your girls, and then, but I told myself due to that experience that because I saw when I came in there, it looked as though you were very clear with your attitude that you did not want this guy. I said, okay, fine. I told the person who came with me, and Mr. Joel, I did believe that I'm not mistaken. I said, I'm not coming here again. Yes, sorry, but I was inspired by the fact that your girls were around you and you're making that hair, the whole hair stuff. I mean, because for me, I hold my core values more dearly than emotional stance.
Oh.
So I may not like you on personal grounds, but if you do something that is worth my core values or that is aligned with my core, you will get my accolades. So I don't involve emotions when it comes. In fact, I have a rule: emotions destroy structures. Actually,
yeah, and I know that.
Yeah, yes. So even when I don't seem to connect with people, I value with them based on my core values. And I have 8 of them. One happens to be excellence, the other leadership, the third mentorship. If you're not somebody who believes in mentorship, I'm going on that. That's like really building relationships off. It's enough. So for me, I'd say this like I said before, you diligence, bold, um, 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 the work from your girls, yes, the kind of ladies you produce. Jesus. Hey, God, my God. Like your girls are, you ensure you give them God. Like, do you see yourself talk sometimes?
No.
Like,
no. I don't see myself talk.
No, actually, I introduced the only lady at that point I could pinpoint you with at a distance, if you remember, was Vicky James.
Yes.
I introduced Vicky James.
Yes, actually, you introduced Vicky James.
See, I've always been, you understand? I try just like.
All right, so that's that perspective, the perspective we had about each other.
Yeah, nothing bad for me from my end, to be very sincere.
And even from his end, I really think it was a misunderstanding of the things he represents.
Are you sure?
Yes, truly.
Don't think I'm nice. When you come out, I'll give it to you.
No, you're not nice.
Yeah.
That one, you're not nice. When anyone tries to break your values, you are very straight at it. Do you understand?
Yeah.
And it's part of the things I pray to God for.
Wow.
Yes, I pray to God for those things. The kind of man I wanted in my life. Believe me, I always say that I would rather stay single than to marry wrong. And when you came, I wasn't sure about you because of the pastor thing. But the moment I opened up to just listen to you, I realized, oh, this is everything I've prayed for. But why is it coming in form of a pastor? And I had to settle that with God alone. Yeah. Okay. I had other guidance. I had my pastors. I've spoken to some of them, but I knew that there was a time I had to just sit on my own and be sure that this is it. And I said yes to you before falling in love with you. Oh, no, that's true. I said yes to this person. Good job. And when I fell in love with you, Jesus,
tell me where you fell in love with.
I just fell. See, with no breaks.
I used to describe my falling in love with her, okay? With you. Real truth. Like I'd always say to them then. They say, you're in love. I say, yes. I'm like a man falling through a well. You know when you're falling, and you understand, you're not trying, and some people will be trying to hold the walls of the well. For me, I'm just like this, just keep falling. Keep falling.
Well, guys, so that's that about perspective. If you want more of this video, then you know what to do. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, like, comment, and share.
And if you have questions for us,
you can drop
it in the comment section.
And we will respond to that. All right, so see you
on our next video.
Yes, on our next episode, and it will be wonderful.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.